I have been using ChatGPT for help a few times while developing my own game. In this video I want to briefly go over all these real cases I had where I hope ChatGPT can help me, show what I ask, show the response and rate it. I only write code while streaming for my entire game, so you could watch the entire interaction I had with ChatGPT and verify yourself. Maybe I suck, maybe ChatGPT sucks, or maybe both. First, touch controls. I have made my game for keyboard and mouse only until now, and now I wanted to add touch controls. So first I ask about general advice, which I get a good fitting response. Second, I ask a simple question for HTML and mobile, where I also get a correct answer. Last, I ask if I can simulate multi-touch in Chrome, and here I get a misleading or incorrect answer. ChatGPT answered, yes you can, but I could not. The only exception is pinch zoom, but how ChatGPT worded it, it sounds like it should be more, but there is not more. So my rating for touch controls is not better than using Google. Next case, vision reduction. I wanted to limit how far the player can see. First simple idea, paint a rectangle with a hole in it. So I asked ChatGPT, but my first question was not accurate enough. ChatGPT gave an answer which did not fit my problem, so I added more information and asked again. Based on the response, I think it understood me, but the solution was wrong. Its solution basically paints over the entire scene and then cuts out a hole in the middle, which will result in nothing being left for my scene. For this problem, the rating is ChatGPT wasted my time. Next on the list is next feature. I was unsure what I should work on next for my game, so I asked ChatGPT for help. I first asked without too many information and got a generally good answer. I asked 2 more times with a bit more information, and these answers were fitting again to my question and seemed decent. But in the end it did not feel like it helped me much to find what I should do next for my game, as all the advice felt like something I am already aware of. As rating I give an OK. It's good starting advice, but for me it was not helping. Fourth question was about regular expressions. ChatGPT answered correctly, but the copy code button adds a new line at the end of the regular expression, which breaks it. And I did not notice it. I was using a regex editor to try it out and was very confused, wondering why it does not work, because it looked fine to me. I was trying to come up with ideas what might be wrong, as nothing seemed to work. So one part is a skill issue on my side, but I still also blame ChatGPT a bit for it. So as a rating, could have been great. Next up, collision detection. My enemies would stack a lot atop of each other, which makes it hard to know how much enemies there are. So to prevent this, I need collision. But in regular gameplay, 2000 active enemies can happen easily. So it should be a bit performant, but I also want to try around fast so I can see how it feels gameplay-wise. ChatGPT gave a correct answer, while it still need to adjust it to my code base, important parts were there. And the rating is great. The sixth question is about icon creation. I currently draw all game art myself. This time I was interested in if ChatGPT can help me. The task was an icon for an ability which is used to leash or unleash a pet slime. It can generate icons, but it did not convince me. So the rating is nope. 7. Web GPU. Great initial information for something I do not know much about. Sadly, I cannot use Web GPU with my current streaming setup with PC and virtual machine. So maybe I will pick it up in the future. Rating, great. 8. Circle in a square. Multiplayer player indicator, show where your friends are, paint a circle at the side of the screen. So a circle in a square. My first question was not accurate enough. ChatGPT gave a solution which moves the circle each game tick a bit to a side. So I did a follow-up question. The solution looked helpful, but when I was transferring it into my code, I noticed more and more issues, basically ChatGPT's answer being wrong. Also, it did not fit my case, but this was me not providing enough information. I changed everything in the code so that ChatGPT's code did not survive. Waiting, time wasted. 9. TypeScript types. TypeScript has a lot of types and they can become quite complicated, but I rarely ever need them. Once I need one, finding out what the correct one is when I close to never use them is difficult. ChatGPT answered and its solution worked for me. So this was the optimal case where the answer worked and I do not need to go down long documentations trying to find the correct one. Waiting, better than great. 10th question, sound. My game did not have sound yet, and I want my game to be small in size. Currently it is below 2 MB. Sounds files are usually bigger, so I asked ChatGPT for help. I got a great answer and in there also what I used in the end, generate sound with code. Again, ChatGPT gave a great introduction to a topic I did not know before. Waiting, better than great. 11. Piano sound. I wanted to improve my sound generation. Try to create sound like a piano. ChatGPT's answer did not sound like a piano, but its suggestion was a simple change which made my sounds a bit better in my opinion. So I integrated the solution in the end. But making a sound like a piano sounds like something ChatGPT currently can't do. Waiting, okay. Next, tabs. My simple menu was growing too big, so I wanted to add tabs. ChatGPT's answer looked good, but was incorrect. Figuring out what it does and why it does not work took enough time for me to learn it myself through Googling. Final waiting, wasted my time. 13. Binary file. I wanted to load data from a binary file and somehow I did not get the one line I was searching for using Google, but ChatGPT gave it to me directly. While the solution was just a simple function call, finding it was faster for me with ChatGPT. So waiting, great. 14. Boss design. I asked ChatGPT to design a boss for me. The response had decent ideas fitting to my question, but in the end I did not use these, probably because my art skill is lacking for these suggestions. Waiting, great. Next, timeout call stack. I had a function which called itself with set timeout resulting in an infinite call stack. I thought this might cause problems in long game sessions, so I should fix it. I asked ChatGPT, but it answered with exactly what I had and resulted in this problem in the first place. So same wrong solution as me. Waiting, time wasted. 16. TypeScript types again. I have a variable which can be one of two different types and I ask how I can handle it. The answer was correct, but also something I am aware of. In the end, I did it differently than ChatGPT suggested, but it is more a matter of different tastes. Waiting, great. Next, 17. Triangle center. I wanted to calculate the center of a triangle. In my case, I only had the coordinates of one corner, the angle of the first side, and the length of the sides, which are all the same. I tried ChatGPT, as it sounded like it could work. The solution offered first looked like it could work, but after a bit of thinking, it did not make sense. I then tried it and then knew it was completely wrong. Waiting, time wasted. 18. Type to array. I had a type which was basically a list of strings. I wanted to know if I can convert it to an array with code. ChatGPT did not understand me and threw weird stuff at me, some object freeze, partial traits. So I guess what I wanted is not possible, and ChatGPT and not possible does not exist for it. So it threw something at me. Waiting, time wasted. 19. Variable names. I was unsure about a variable name and wanted to see if ChatGPT can come up with a good one. The suggested names did all fit, although I did not feel like I found a better name through it. I took one off its list and went on. Waiting, great. 20. Bounce angle. I have a sniper character and I want to upgrade where the snipe can bounce off terrain. So for the bounce I need to calculate a bounce angle. I asked only for the bounce angle and ChatGPT got the correct answer for it. Waiting better than great. 21 Node.js dependencies. I wanted to know how I can set up my environment so my server and client can both use the same dependencies. The answer ChatGPT gave was in short use Webpack, a tool which bundles modules. This should be able to solve my problems. After some trying, I run into further problems for which I ask again for help. But it felt like I wasted my time on these problems, so I decided to stop as I do not need it yet. Waiting, great. 22 line intersection. I have a line which does damage. As my map is infinitely generated, enemies are tied to chunks. To check if an enemy is hit by the line, I first need to find out the chunks which are hit by my line. I simplified it for ChatGPT as a chessboard and a line problem. The first solution of ChatGPT did not fit my case and only works under very specific conditions and probably can even run into an endless loop with the while true condition and floating point inaccuracies building up over many iterations. I continue asking with more details and got better answers, and I believed I got the working solutions after some time. But later I noticed bugs with it. I failed trying to fix them, and in the end I stopped using ChatGPT's code and used my own, which I was able to fix myself. But the code of ChatGPT I could not fix. Waiting time wasted a lot. 23 blob to array buffer. I had problems with two types I rarely use. I asked for help and got the functions I needed. So simple question and got correct answers. Waiting better than wait. And now the last 24 Docker file. To deploy my game somewhere, I wanted a Docker file. Asked and got a correct answer. I asked for some more help installing Docker, which also helped. Then I had a problem with ports and asked again. Here somehow it made something up which I had never seen before. Port 3000 put just right in the start command. I tried it out as maybe I am the stupid one, but it could not work as I assumed. Waiting could have been great. Let's do a summary. Here's a graph where I counted my ratings. The rating could have been great have been included into OK. I ordered from the left the worst to the right the best ratings. So for my 24 cases it seems to help more often than it wastes my time completely. But I also tried to simplify my questions as far as possible, and I would consider all my questions as very easily compared to how complex software can grow. For my personal experience, I would consider ChatGPT's help is the most useful when you need to learn something new, but already have some conditions for your specific case, which ChatGPT will filter for you, so you get the relevant information for your specific case. For a lot of other things, it might be a dice roll if it ends up helping you or waste your time. Another question I often see is, can AI replace me? Currently, absolutely not. In the future, maybe. But as my job is also automating other people's jobs, if an AI can do that, this would mean for me that every other job which can be completely done on a computer would also be replaced.